You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Derek.
You're
Are we
great.
gonna have nicknames for each other each episode?
You're
I think
great.
we should.
You're great.
I'm Underboob. That's the original. That's the OG. So you're Nev Nips. I'm Underboob.
Oh wait, let's not give away the studio production value we have here.
It's pretty low.
You're probably going to sing anyway, so you might as well just use
That's
that
a
part,
good
you
point.
know? You're great.
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 Yogurt.
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 Yeah, no yogurt.
Yogurt. No yogurt. Gogurt.
Yogurt.
Oh, Gurt. We broke. This episode broke us.
Welcome to the Hug Life podcast. I am Mike Yogurt Coletta.
And I am Monica. Nice Greek yogurt, Nevi.
Oh, that's a long, but it needs to specify that it's a nice Greek.
A nice
yogurt.
Greek yogurt. Nevi.
I thought you were going to say Gogurt, but that's fine.
No, I just had to break the mold, you know.
Gotta be different.
Gotta be a little different this one, folks.
Yeah, welcome to our podcast. It's great. You're
It
great.
is great. You're great. We just do this over and over again.
Just keep
Do you want me to
starting
do the pluggable things we do up front?
Yeah, go
Because
for
we
it,
got to
man.
start with our shows. Hey,
Yeah.
do you want me to go
for it.
first? Do you want
Yes,
me to go?
that's
Okay.
what you just said. I figured you were going to go first.
The night this drops, I am in Hoquiam, Washington, with Monica Nevi at Hoquiam Brewing. And then I am going to be at the Hereafter in Belltown this Thursday
Seattle.
the
That's Seattle,
2nd.
Washington.
in Seattle, Washington with my good friend Sean Jordan. And then Friday is the Seattle Super Secret stand-up show with me and surprise guests. Ooh, Monica's going to be gone, but that's okay. We still are her friend.
Mhm.
And then on Sunday, June 12th, I'm at Good Comedy at Bad Jimmy's.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Jimmy, you're so bad.
Oh, naughty Jimmy.
Naughty Jimmy's here.
Okay. Are you good?
That's my plugs.
Nice. Okay. When this drops Wednesday, I will also be at Hoquiam Brewing in Hoquiam, Washington, and Mike's coming with me. Then the next day, I'm at the Central Comedy Show in Capitol Hill at the Central Cinema in Seattle with Carmen Morales. And this weekend, I am in Richland, Washington at Joker's Comedy Club and bowling and casino and whatever else.
Now, what are those activities you could do? You get a bowl?
Oh, yeah. Bring in my balls for sure.
Bring in your balls.
Bring in my balls. Then the next week, I'm in Port Angeles on the 9th and Bremerton doing the Dope Show on the 11th. And then Spokane, Washington, June 16th, I'm headlining Spokane Comedy Club, followed by Post Falls, Idaho at the Draft Zone on the Friday.
The draft zone.
Rounding it out with Gold Bar, Washington on the 18th, Saturday. There you go. That's
Beautiful
some
Gold
things
Bar,
to look
Washington.
forward to. Do you? I don't know.
All right. Well, other ways you can support this podcast, you can go to monicanevi.com or huglifepodcast.com. Click on the Amazon banner, shop as you normally would. Now that I've said that, I just realized I think the Amazon banner on the Hug Life website is broken. So just go to Monica's website if you want to do it. I gotta fix that. It'll take me like 2 seconds. It might even be fixed by the time this episode drops. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Okay.
Then you can go to patreon.com/huglifepodcast. Donate $1 a month. That gets you access to all of our old episodes. There's so many now, really.
Well, the Patreon episodes, yeah. And the one for this month already up. Look at us.
Already up. Wowzers.
Boom.
Look at us. Pew, 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 pew. Finger guns. I'm shooting finger guns into the air. You can't see it right now. So is Monica. Things you can do also to support our friends. Danny Dodge at
Mhm.
Studio Dodge on Instagram or studiododge.com. Purchase her art. We love her so much,
Yeah.
and she's the best. Lastly, we have an Instagram. It's at Hug Life Podcast. We post cute animals, fun stuff, supportive videos of past guests, great things. So I think that pretty much covers it, right? I think I nailed it.
Yeah. Nailed it. Great job.
I just did that off the
Great
dome too,
job.
just straight up off the dome.
It's pretty good.
Because sometimes my brain gets so hot and so smooth and I can't think straight. But today I'm feeling pretty good. I slept really hard.
You slept so hard.
I slept so hard the sleepers want to find me.
Okay. Do you have any lexical embraces? I had an idea. I wanted an update during this time, but if you have some,
I would
you should go
like-
first.
To lexically embrace celebrating America in your own way. Is that weird?
I just maybe need a little clarification.
I went to a Memorial Day cookout yesterday,
Okay.
and we all ate Impossible Burgers. A lot of the food was vegan, and we played with LARP swords
Yeah, that's not
and arrows,
what,
and that is not a traditional Memorial Day,
military
but it was fun. It was a fun
veterans
time,
who have
and there was
passed.
a lot of they had three adorable dogs there actually, which was great. I love good
Nathan
dogs. At
says
parties.
America likes some cute dogs.
And a cat that ate all this cheese off of a cheese board because we all went outside and didn't realize
And
it.
cats eat cheese.
Oh yeah, cats fucking love cheese.
I guess they
dude.
drink milk technically, right?
Yeah,
Or,
and cheese just-
traditionally.
Cheese is just hard milk, so
Oh.
you know.
That's what they say. That is what they say. Cheese is just hard milk. Please write down hard milk.
I am writing down hard milk right now.
Semi-soft milk. Here we go. Well, that's fine. Okay, so celebrating America in your own way.
Yeah,
I guess
I don't
feel
know.
like
It's
Memorial
just a
Day is
non-traditional
celebrating
Memorial Day. I guess is
America,
the
that's
better
all.
way.
Yes.
I thought Memorial Day is celebrating America as well as people that have died for America.
I
That's
thought
what
it was military, our troops, people have
You know,
passed
I
serving
feel
in the
like
military.
In a way, every holiday now celebrates America. Through capitalism. Yeah, I said
Fair.
it.
Yeah.
Halloween, capitalism.
Out here on St.
Christmas,
Patrick's Day, celebrating
Cinco de
America.
Mayo, definitely capitalism
Well, yeah.
because you're just buying all the booze.
Yeah.
What's your lexical embraces?
Like that. I would like to lexically embrace doing yard work as a family, but that has also prompted me to maybe we could get a lawn father update from you in your yard, and I'll tell you what craziness we did yesterday.
Give you some. Oh man, I don't have it. I was gonna say
Okay.
give you a solder you can't refuse.
Oh,
Trying to
solder.
Yeah, isn't
Yeah.
that? But the solder's that's like. Well, I
I
know
thought
they
it was like
solder
fire.
electronics.
Yeah, I thought it was like melting
Fodder?
metal.
What's the-
Fodder?
That's
Isn't that-
poop,
Isn't
right?
it?
I thought fodder's poop.
I thought
Bantha
fodder was
fodder
like
is poop, like in Star Wars.
talking, like fodder is like chat.
Well, today our listeners
Chatting
learned we
about-
don't know words.
We
so
don't
that's
know
good.
any words.
My
And even
lawn's-
if we do, not very confident in it.
My
so-
lawn is actually doing pretty well right now. The only problem is the back part where I'm reseeding still didn't take all the way, and there's just not enough dirt there. I think next summer I'm gonna need to either rent a tiller or hire someone to dig up the earth deep and then put some more soil in there to really get a lot on there because
Yeah.
it needs something, and it's not doing well. It's growing, but the minute the heat's gonna hit, it's gonna have a hard time, I think.
Yeah, we were a little nervous about that too. The heat. Hopefully, it seems like the vibe right now seems like it won't get as hot as it did last year. But
Yeah,
that's
I
just
actually-
me talking to the nature.
I heard that we're gonna have a more mild summer than last summer. Thank God, because last
I
summer
mean, literally, any summer's more mild than last summer. That was the hottest we've
Yeah.
ever had. But
was fucking awful.
it's pretty scary at moments. So, especially
Mhm.
for the plants. Well, we took out all the weeds across the fences, we have a little space between the grass and the fence where you could put flowers if you would like to. We had some weeds in there, weeded it all, both sides, back and front, which took a long time in the front. Then planted some flowers that we had bought. There's like 2 out there now. But put topsoil. Maybe you just need to throw some topsoil in with the
I don't know. I think
grass
it's,
seed, I
the
don't know.
problem is it's hard pack underneath. That's just
Yeah.
like clay. It's not gonna do anything unless I till it up and mix it with other stuff.
Yeah, that's weird. Then we planted a bunch of flowers, like seeds, all through that area. So then instead of, having to worry about weeds coming through, we'll just have some pretty flowers on all sides. We
Pretty
put 2
flowers.
peonies into the place where the snow had killed the 2 plants that were on the side. You guys don't know where this is, but just imagine that. So we did that, put a sunflower in.
So you had a big day yesterday.
Oh yeah, that was just the back. So we had the
That's all
front.
you did for Memorial Day was yard work.
pretty much. And then we talked about the military veterans that had passed in our families. No, we didn't. But then we put some more flowers in the front. There's still a little bit of area to finish. I'm going to mow the lawn again today so that it's more consistent. But honestly, it's looking pretty fucking good. I don't know if you've ever done a yard, a yard day, and then at the end been like, we got to invite some people over. This looks good.
That's
We need
what
somebody to
happened
see it.
when Katie redid the backyard. She did all that
Yeah.
stonework back there and was like, yeah, we gotta have people over. And we're gonna have people
Yeah.
over on Sunday, this coming Sunday.
Oh,
Family barbecue, family only. We're having my mom and dad and stepdad, Rick. We all know Rick. We love Rick. And then Monica, Katie's parents. God. I'm like looking
you invited
at you.
my parents over.
Yeah, I invited your parents and no one else. And I didn't invite Katie's parents.
And you didn't invite me. You
Pam
invited
and
my
Ron are
parents.
filling in for Katie's parents, even though Katie's parents could go. I just wanted to see Pam and Ron.
I planted some peppers too, jalapeno and serranos.
Oh, getting a little spicy over there.
Yeah, because we got lots of vegetables already, but and then some lavender to deter the old mosquitoes.
Oh, we have lavender in our front yard. And
Do you have any lemongrass?
Do we have lemongrass?
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you want some of ours? Is that what you're trying to give? Because we can do that.
Think of that. No, we just couldn't find any at the
we had
2 stores.
So we have so many fucking succulents that if you ever need succulents, you can just come up here and grab some because we have hundreds. Katie's addicted to succulents, I think.
Yeah,
and then we also have this black mondo grass that's really cool. If you want some of that, that's like growing all over the place.
Yeah, kind of trying to figure out how to do all
if you
the
want to come up
spaces
here
with
and talk to Katie about plants, she'd fucking love it.
she'd be into it. Well, maybe I'll just have
Yeah.
my parents ask when they're there. Just kidding.
It's true. Pam and Ron, dude, they showed up to that the brewery show. It was good to see them. I was excited to see
Yeah.
Pam and Ron.
They're a fun
It's so
time.
long. Ron is just so great. It's so
Yes.
funny. So that giant throne was on there on the stage, and I moved it by myself. It wasn't that heavy. It was just awkward.
Mhm.
And Ron's like, "You shouldn't move that by yourself." And I'm like, I felt very like dadded in the moment. You know what
Oh,
I
yeah, of
mean?
course.
Like it had real
Like,
strong
she's
dad
like
energy.
live with your legs.
Yeah, I kind of loved it. I was like, oh, this is nice. You know?
That's my favorite that he'll do is he'll be like, you should have asked for help, but then not offer it when you're in the middle of something.
Yeah.
He says afterwards, like,
You should have asked for help. When I'm
you should
like,
ask somebody else to help you.
like, you gonna play catch with me after this? Is that what you're gonna do?
He will do that. Yeah.
You would do that? Oh, that's nice of Ron.
Okay. So that's yards are doing good. Yeah. So Lex Clean Brace doing some yard work outside. This is gonna be too corny, but this is why I thought about it. Is because I am the yard is my territory in our home.
Mhm. It's where you
And
hunt and kill your
yes,
prey.
and Erin is more in charge of the indoors.
Aaron seems like an indoor kid.
Well, she's from the desert. They don't really go outside. Anyways,
She's scared of it. She's afraid of trees and
well, and
grass.
she's not a big bug person, but she got in the zone yesterday, pulling the weeds and stuff. And so what I realized, because we were out there for like 2-3 hours, like doing lots of stuff. Our yard isn't that big, so but we just got in the flow and kept going. And I realized that the reason I just kind of do the lawn, do what I need to do, and then come back inside is because I don't want to be alone. Like if they're here, I want to be inside hanging out with them, And so the fact that they
Such a
were,
softie.
I know the fact that they were out there with me was like, oh, we can stay out here however long we want.
Meanwhile, I just love being alone. Oh, that's my favorite thing.
I do love being alone, but I'm alone a lot. And I
You
have
really
been for
are.
many, many years. So
I was thinking about that. I was talking to someone at this barbecue, and they're like, "Oh, I went on vacation." I'm like, "Oh, where'd you go?" They're like, "Canada." They're like, "I just like to go places alone sometimes." And I'm like, "Dude,
yeah,
mad respect. I
Do
get
that.
that. That's what comedy is for me. It's a lone vacation almost."
Yeah. Well, and
you
that's
know?
every weekend basically. So yeah, I had just come back from Boise. So
How was Boise, by the way?
it was good. It was a holiday weekend, so you get a little nervous if people don't know that live performance not always at the top of the list during a
True.
holiday weekend. People
Very
like
true.
to do, especially one where it's like, oh, this is kind of the first nice time of the year. It was raining a little bit, and that helped, I think. But both shows were good. They did. It reminded me of you. I don't. They did improv after
Oh
my
no.
first show. Like they
Oh no.
followed my set with like scenes, you know.
Oh,
But
this is where
it's-
you said everyone left, although that was a Patreon exclusive.
Yes, that was
so you can't.
Patreon
You're
exclusive.
legally not allowed to talk about this. I'm just kidding.
right. I can't tell you all the
I
information.
might
but
unlock a Patreon and put it on our feed as like a week off kind of thing, just so people can kind of get a little something, a
little teaser,
taste,
yeah.
little taste of what
Okay,
it's
you
like.
have to pick which one, I guess. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
not a bad idea. I
I was
suppose.
thinking the most recent one because most recent one's pretty jolly, honestly.
Do we talk? I mean, we talk some shit. The problem with that is that we do name names, and we feel like
Oh,
we don't need everybody knowing that stuff. But you know,
name.
gotta pay for that.
Names.
Anyways, the club is cool. It's called the Lounge at the End of the Universe, and Boise's cool. Seems the same. Oh, and I spent actually quite a bit of time with Henry Russell Stoddard.
I haven't seen Henry Russell Stoddard in so long, and I
I
love
know.
him.
He says hello, and I met his lady friend, very nice lady. And
So he's full time Boise now.
yes. And
man,
he came to the open mic that I was at on Thursday because I did an open mic in Boise. Why wouldn't you? And then came and saw the show on Saturday. So
what
got
a
to
sweet
hang.
person.
Somebody
Love
got in a
Henry.
fist fight near us. That was fun.
Oh my goodness. 2 homeless people fought outside of my show in Olympia. He didn't
Oh,
tell you
gosh.
that.
Well,
All
these people
windows
were
around.
inside.
Everyone could watch everything.
That's
so
awesome.
I was on my set. I was
yeah.
about to close and doing my spider shower joke to sell the merch, make the cheddar, and all the heads turned to the left all at once. And I see
know.
it happen. And I'm like, what's this? And I'm like, is there a fight going on outside? And they're like, yes. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, time for a quick intermission, I guess. And I just like bullshitted and talked about the fight. And then jumped right back into the spider joke. Did fine, sold shirts. Did great. It's great.
This is my favorite part is we kind of just like turned our chairs to see. It was in a bar, you know, turned our chairs to watch because why not?
Why
Two
not?
dudes
Yeah.
and then a drunk lady, drunk Idaho lady, if you know, whatever you're going to imagine in your
man.
head. That's what trying to help, but she was just like making it worse.
All
she
I
kept
was doing.
Yelling things like, this is my boy. This is my homeboy. I mean, that is my brother, but this is my friend. And I was like, wait, is your brother fighting your friend right now? Like, what's happening?
That's weird.
And she was, I don't know. It didn't really help. And then they kind of kept moving and Henry didn't move his chair. So then eventually they were just fighting like over top of him. And I thought it was great that he just didn't move. And eventually some guy was like, you guys should probably move. We were like, all right.
All right.
And just stood up.
I
So we
guess
started to
we
knock
should
over chairs and shit.
move.
But
That's fucking funny though.
it was funny. Nobody really hit anybody though. But
Yeah.
it was that thing where it was like just everybody gets amped up a little bit. They're arguing or whatever. And then other guys come in and they're like, wait, are you talking shit about my friend? Are you friends with the guy who's talking shit to my friend? Because then we should fight, right? You know, like it could have been a brawl, but
Are we friends with the friend of the friend that's fighting
yeah,
this friend?
I'm angry. Who am I supposed to be angry at? I don't know. I'm just going to hit
That's
somebody
just-
soon.
I know Boise's not really a small town, but that feels like small town bullshit to
It
me.
just feels like
You
Idaho
know, where you're
bullshit to me. I don't
bored.
know. Yeah.
And you get in fights because you're bored.
I do feel like some dudes probably go out hoping that they get in a fight.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Okay.
I go out hoping we get ice cream at the end of the night.
I go out hoping nobody talks to me. You know, like I don't know why you would want to.
Converse with someone.
Well, not that, but why you would look for fights, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I've never been a testosterone-driven man.
Mm-hmm.
Solely a testosterone-driven woman. Just kidding.
I've gotten hot a couple times at a bar in college.
I mean, I've been mad and been like, but not before I go out. You know what I mean? Like something has happened when you're out that'll make me mad enough.
we were at a bar and this guy was like laughing at my theater friends, and I was like, "We got a problem?" And I got really
Ooh,
angry, and he was like,
nice.
"No," and I'm like, "You suck." Now give me those deep fried Oreos, you dipshit.
The only
They
time
had
I've
deep fried
really
Oreos at
yelled,
the bar.
I would like never really stand up for myself. If somebody was being rude to me or whatever, like I'm just like, whatever. But if it's towards my friends or my family in some way, then I will. I yelled at a man at the
Someone-
airport because he was talking to my mom wrong. I was like, sir, you better back the fuck up.
Hey, you better stop talking to Pam that way or I'll fucking stab you. Is that what you
Mm.
said?
Yeah.
I'd stab someone for Pam.
I think most people would.
She's
but
not
yeah,
even my
someone too.
mom, and I'd do it.
I know. I think, yeah. Protect Pam.
Everyone protect Pam.
Yeah.
All right. You want to get to the actual positive spin meat of this episode? today?
Yes, I had an idea. And I have some explanations for why this came up.
Okay.
But
Okay.
all right, positive spin, other people playing music out loud.
When this
You hate
happens,
this.
I want to take their phone or their speaker and throw it into the ocean. It makes me so fucking mad. I don't.
I mean, I'm
and it's
sure
gotten
we-
worse. It's gotten progressive worse.
like your anger towards it or people doing it.
People doing it more.
Okay. Yeah, I
You
don't
go on
really
a hike
understand.
and they have a Bluetooth speaker and they're just blasting
Yeah.
it. And I'm like, what is wrong with you?
They're
Like,
afraid
who
of
are you?
bears.
Yeah, I'm like, what is your issue? Why do you not understand that this is rude?
I say, well, I thought of it a little bit because yesterday while we were doing the yard work, we had the speaker outside, but moderate
It's also your
level
house.
level of volume.
I mean, in public is the problem, right?
Right. But I'm still saying then our across the street neighbors, which we've all heard about plenty of times, they're insane,
They're the stupid ones.
are in their car in the front lawn.
Front lawn.
Yeah. With the music like
Ooh.
fucking blasting to where like you can still hear it over the road that's in between us and over our music. And it's like just cuss word after cuss word, and our 8-year-old is out. You know what I mean? Which is annoying, but we mostly think it's annoying because it's them, to be honest.
Yeah, because they suck.
I'm
Super
fine with other people jamming at their own house, turning it up a little bit because it's a nice day and our other neighbors listen to music in their backyard, but it's never like crazy loud. So then we've been watching we watched Candy. Have you seen that? It's Jessica Biel playing this woman named Candace Montgomery who she like killed she was having an affair with a man,
Mhm.
ends up being called out eventually. This is a really bad summary of this, but about the affair by his wife, and then it's all alleged, but they get in a little bit of a spat, and then she kills her with an axe, but chops, like there's like 41 chops, and she hit her in the head,
41 chops.
and she hit her in the head like 28 times.
That's quite a few chops.
Yeah, and her eyes are like cut out and stuff, like just weird. Like, and so she pleaded self-defense, but everyone's like, that seems a little excessive.
Yeah, you killed that person.
Um,
Yeah.
Right. So anyway, so we had watched that, and then there's this other, because Aaron was just like, oh, Jessica Biel's been doing a lot of like murder, like everything she's produced recently has been like really dark, kind of like women murderers type of thing. So we started watching this other show she did a few years ago, which is called Sinner, and she's playing this woman that's with her family at the beach, and this guy and girl are like making out all gross, and then they start playing music really, really loud, and she just stabs him a bunch of times.
I love
So
it.
that made, I mean, obviously there's more to the story eventually, but it was, yeah, but that was, so when she first kind of confesses to it, she's like, she was just playing his music too loud. Like that's
that's just the problem.
that was the problem. So that made me think
You know
of it
what?
as like,
I think if there was the thought of punishment of stabbing over your head, if
People
you did
wouldn't.
something like this,
Yeah.
people would play music less out loud. I was
Yeah.
thinking when we lived in LA and we'd go on these hikes, I'm using quotes here because all the trails were like in the middle of the city and they were crowded with fucking
yeah, I
people.
mean, it's just dirt. It's still hiking, but it's not as pretty as being in the woods.
Yeah, but there are these people that would just fucking blast their Beats pills, and I'm like, what is wrong? And
You
people
gotta, like,
I
carry it with
watched
you.
people confront them, and they'd be like, "What's the problem? Why are you being such a Karen?" And I'm like, "You're being a dick. This isn't a Karen issue. This is you being an asshole."
I
And
will say I understand it only from the perspective of not wanting to wear headphones when you're alone. And I know men don't usually think about that, but I keep a headphone out sometimes if I don't feel
but it's always
safe. Like I want to hear what's going on. But if you're, and how loud you're playing it, obviously, like
Yeah.
if you just need to hear it, then you can play it. It's
I'd
quieter
be
than
fine
that.
with
But
that. But the problem is every time I see it, it's always dudes. it's always dudes blasting music very loud. So
They
it's
need
definitely not.
attention. I don't know.
I guess. And I'm like, what is wrong with you? Like it happened on the skiing too with
Oh,
Katie
really?
and her dad. And Katie got called a Karen for asking this kid to turn his music down. And I'm like, this guy, and he's like, fuck you. And they just like went down the mountain, like screaming things at them. And I'm like, this is so weird to me. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
or
People
you
are
just don't
weird.
have your music really loud. I don't think that's really a hard ask because there's people being Karens, which I think is like the ask for your manager. That's kind of person.
Yeah.
But if someone asks you to turn your music down because you're blasting it in a public place, that's just you being a dick.
Yeah, I don't really understand the not. Okay, so anyways, now you understand what the
Yeah.
negatives.
Do I have to
of
positive
course.
spin
Yes,
this?
you have to have
Oh,
positive spin.
God. This might be the hardest one for me because I fucking hate this so much.
I know. Maybe you
Maybe you
hear
learn a
music
new
you've never heard.
song.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was just gonna say. That's good. You learn a
You
new
learn,
song.
you're like, oh, you know what? In the bouts of my anger, I'm like, oh, actually, I really like this new song I've never heard before. Okay, that's nice.
there. Maybe you need to get better about confronting people and setting boundaries. So we give you an opportunity to do so.
Be like, hey man, what makes you think you can play music in public? And then they'll call me a Karen, and then I'll stab them. Like,
Yeah,
like,
7 times right in the neck first.
Is that Mandy Moore? You said that in that?
No, Jessica Biel.
Jessica Biel.
Yeah, which I mean, it's kind of similar era, I guess. But
Yeah, I mean, I want to see Mandy Moore stab someone too.
yeah, I don't. It's kind of that's why I brought it up though to Aaron. I was like, "Do you think she's gonna kill Justin Timberlake? Why is she making so many movies about women?"
Maybe it's her outlet
snapping?
because she's mad at how women are treated, so she wants to show.
She did mention some because she plays the woman. Well, literally in both of these, she's like plays the murderer. And when asked about the Candy character, she said she related to her a lot because of needing to like stay up to standard on a lot of female stereotypes of being the people pleaser and taking care of everybody and blah blah blah, and then snapping. And so yeah, it makes me a little nervous, but she just wants to tell those stories.
Do you remember when she was in love with Adam Sandler in I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry? And that's the biggest miscasting in the history of movies.
Any of his films are
any of his films
miscast like that, because
that was the fun. I was like, what the fuck? Why Jessica Biel's
that entire film is the oddest premise
and horrible,
is to pretend to be gay.
Yeah,
because he wanted to give.
There's something about it. I forget what it was. Like it was.
Yeah,
like
I don't remember how that was helping them, but yeah. Anyways, yes, he's kind of known for being with a or multiple extremely out of his league
attractive women,
attractiveness wise.
That you're like, what are you even doing here?
This is not believable.
Adam.
But that's, how Hollywood works. He's got the money.
So learning new songs.
Regardless, yes. Or
learning how to confront people.
Maybe setting some boundaries, yes.
Maybe you see their Beats pill doing really well, and you're like, oh, maybe I need to get one of those for my own house.
Maybe you are, sure, yeah, that's nice. Good advertising for whatever. I have a Bose, no, JBL. I have a JBL Bluetooth speaker. You might be able to hear some different quality of Bluetooth speakers. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh, maybe don't like awkward silence.
Oh yeah.
You're on the bus, everything's quiet. And you're like, turn that Beats pill on.
Turn that Beats pill on.
Ooh, can you? Oh, that would be fun, right? Can't you can pair to them sometimes and it like changes.
Oh,
we have friends in LA music that are connected to their neighbor's speaker. So they'll just like turn shit on sometimes. That would be fun.
That would be really funny. Turn on something like these like frat bros and turn on Celine Dion or something for them.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, that's good.
I like that.
That's fun. Actually. Okay, so there may be
there's the prank opportunity.
Kind of a prank. Here. Yeah, that's good. We haven't thought about that.
This is one of the hardest ones for me, honestly.
I know, but honestly, you've done pretty good so far. I
just hate it so much when people do this shit.
Maybe. Ooh, here we go. Maybe you wanted to leave wherever you were, and you were like, I can't take this anymore with the music. I have to go.
Yeah, I got a reason to leave. Why are you leaving? Because these dipshits won't turn their music off.
Yep. Then you
also
walk away.
You want to hear the craziest thing I saw recently, though? Sure. On par with this public, like no idea. I saw a person full blast watching a YouTube video on their phone with no headphones in an airport.
I've seen that on a plane. I was like,
What
what are you doing,
the
sir?
fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just
Like you don't have
that
headphones.
is an interesting thing, like because of social media, the way we consume it so much. There, sometimes you just turn it on and forget that it's out loud. I don't know.
I guess. I mean, maybe you're being oblivious, but also if you're not, like, how do you not think that? Maybe I'm just raised. I was raised in a different way. It sounds like an old man thing, but I'm like,
Now these kids are raised.
my
different.
kids were like, my parents were very much like, don't be an asshole.
Yeah, which is interesting. I mean, yes, don't be an asshole is one thing, but I don't think my parents ever said it, but I always got the vibe of like children should be seen and not heard.
Mhm.
And I take that into my adult life as well. Hello, physically here, emotionally somewhere else.
Emotionally somewhere else.
yes.
Pam, you know what's weird is Pam told me that. She's like, Michael, children should be seen and not heard. And then she just walked away from me. It was really weird.
It's like you're being too loud.
You're being too loud, Michael.
No, I never, because I just wasn't really ever loud, but I shake my legs a lot, still do. And that was like the biggest thing that they would always have to be like, stop doing that. You're shaking the whole bleachers or whatever. It's like, stop bouncing. Stop bouncing around.
Laughed at me yesterday because I was laughing and I shook the whole car while I was at a stoplight while I was laughing.
That's impressive.
That was really funny. I made Katie very upset. So that made me laugh. Sometimes you do that to the people you love because it's funny.
Upset him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a joking, fun way.
That is, no, that's how love works, I believe. I think we did pretty good for really not
I think
either
so
of us
too.
being too excited about this.
Because we both hate this.
Would you retort in a way? Would you play your own music back in this situation? Turn your
Like fight
music up,
fire
start
with
a fight?
fire situation?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's
Fight
a slippery
fire.
slope.
Fire with fire starter.
Fight fire with fire starter.
I like that. Yeah, that's
I
pretty
like
good.
that a lot. I'm not sure because this is like the whole situation. Like, oh, we have a mouse problem. We buy a cat. Now we have a cat problem. We buy a dog or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like that. The old lady that swallowed the fly.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
But it's like I get a Beats pill to fight their Beats pill. Now they get a giant boombox. It's pretty soon
Yeah.
we got a fucking
Now I
whole
leave.
10 amp
That's it.
speaker system to try to outdo their music.
Fair. Yeah, you both have to start music festivals.
It sounds like an episode of Home Improvement. I'm
It
a
does.
fan.
You're just a big fan still?
I liked the show as a kid, but the more I think about it, the more I'm like, it's kind of bad, you know?
I don't know. Yeah, I used to watch it all the time.
You know what holds up though is that 70s show. That 70s show really held up, I think.
It is a good, solid show. I haven't rewatched a lot of the things that I used to watch. So
I went through and watched a lot of that 70s show, and I just didn't do the ending part because the ending episodes kind of suck. And then I skipped to the last episode. Like the minute Eric left, I skipped to the series finale, and I was like, "Oh,
Got
okay,
it.
cool, that's better."
I used to watch the Drew Carey show all the time. I should go back and see how that holds
Yeah,
up.
there's some jokes Drew Carey makes as the host of Whose Line in the bloopers and outtakes that would not be considered okay now, and I find it.
Well, I've heard that he's a little out of touch on
Yeah.
those things. I don't. Are we naming names? But Greg Proops told me that there's a lot of stuff he does in his stand-up that he's like, I don't think you can. But we all know Proops is the best. So
That's true. God, that's a guy I've always wanted to work with that I've never gotten to.
and done it twice. He's great.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad that you've gotten these opportunities. This is
Yep.
pure career jealousy. I'm going to play music really
Fucking
loud at your
bullshit.
house.
He's also very well dressed. So
He's a very snappy dresser.
talks about it too. He's like, I had someone walk out of the show at Tacoma because they said it was hate speech that he was judging other men for not dressing very well. Like he started talking about like men wearing sandals. They shouldn't wear sandals because their feet are gross, whatever, just stuff like that. And somebody did in fact walk out. Was it
Is
you?
there anything funnier
Oh,
than
actually, I know who it was.
you do know?
Yeah.
Was it a comedian?
That would be
The face Monica just made. Oh, the face he just made will fuel me for weeks.
open
make me
micro.
laugh.
Actually, I don't. Oh wait, I do know his last name.
And he got
gonna put
mad
it-
that because
We never do this. I'll put it in the chat.
He wears flip flops.
Just basically, whenever he was talking about men needing to do better, he said that was hate speech.
Oh, that guy sucks.
I know.
That guy sucks so incredibly hard.
I know.
Like to the point where I want to tell him how hard he sucks.
He's one of the first few people that I was like, oh, what am I doing on stage if he likes my comedy? You know, like that was because he was there to see me actually that night and was just, I don't even want to say was a fan kind of, but that's what it
Yeah.
seemed like. And then I'm like, oh God, I don't need to.
That dude sucks so incredibly hard. I love it when people call things hate speech or a slur because they're being called on their bullshit. That's the new internet thing. Like,
Yeah, but then also like that guy's comedy, putting that in quotes, is very hateful. So it's
Yeah.
an interesting. Maybe he had gotten called out recently for being a misogynist, so he was taking that to heart. I don't know, but
he also
just thought it
looks
was
like
funny.
a person that would do that kind of comedy too. Is that weird to say?
No.
Like he looked like when you're like, picture a comic that is hateful and shitty in their comedy. Who do you picture? And I would pull up his face in a dictionary.
Yeah, and I think our listeners right now would have the same.
Yeah. Hey, whoever
Picture.
you're picturing in your head, you're probably pretty close. Listeners.
I agree.
All right, that's good. That's a real good way to.
I don't
Yeah.
even know how that we got.
I love it though. It was Greg Proops in Snappy Dressing.
Yes.
I've heard Greg Proops' bit about being a gross man who wears flip-flops. And as a gross man who wears flip-flops, I fully admit that I am trash. I have
See,
no-
that's the thing. I just did a radio interview for this weekend in Richland, and he was asking me about like every city that I'd recently been to and like, what are they like? And I was like, they seem fine. And he kept asking, can they take a joke? Like, can they make fun of themselves? Which is the most part true. But if you're going to a comedy show and you couldn't even make fun of yourself, it just seems like you're not setting yourself up for a good time, you know?
There's some weird things that radio hosts like focus in on when they ask you questions, it seems like, you know?
Me specifically?
Yeah,
or-
like
oh,
we've talked about different radio hosts being like a lot of it's woman in comedy. There's a lot of
Yeah.
those questions, like
Mhm.
where you're like, okay, I know what you're saying here, you know?
Yeah,
But
it's
this whole,
gotten a
like,
little less, but not.
When
yeah.
radio hosts are like, can this town take a joke? Can this town take a joke? I'm like, oh, you think you're the edgy comedian guy.
Well, and then
who's
also, is it like,
not funny in a dick.
what if I say no? Like the whole town can't take a joke? I'm sure there's people there who would be
Yeah.
offended if you made fun of
It's
Richland
such a
or
big
whatever.
generalization.
Also, I really like this radio guy. I've done his show many times and he's nice. So no, but
Is
it
it
was
the
just
guy
an
that I've done with
interesting
you?
question. I don't know what guy.
The guy I did the radio voice to.
Oh no,
No,
that was, where were we for that one?
we were in Richland for that.
Was that
one.
in Richland?
Mhm.
No, he just got this job in Richland. He used to be in Spokane.
Oh, nice.
Anyways, no, nice guy. It was just an interesting, like maybe because he doesn't do stand up, but maybe he saw people getting offended by, like, you know, because most comics make fun of the city or whatever.
Yeah.
And saw people getting offended by that. And it's like, no, like usually people can, especially when you've lived somewhere for a while, you're like, yeah, here's all the things, you know.
Totally fine. It's all
Roast
gravy.
us. Roast us.
Yeah, I like to think that most people that go to a comedy show are into making fun of themselves a little bit, you know? Because if you go to a comedy show to be the guy that walks out and you're like, oh, that's hateful or whatever, it's like, why
Right.
do you even why did you buy a ticket? Why did you come here to not have fun? I don't understand that.
I don't either.
Which is why when someone was talking to me recently, they're like, "Is you that guy on the road that was like stone faced the whole show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but that doesn't bother me because if you're gonna sit there and not annoy me, you're not heckling, and just have a bad time, you paid for a ticket. This is on you."
That's
if you
fair.
wanna
Yeah,
have a
no,
bad
I
time.
had one of those. Maybe it was me who told you. I had one of those on Saturday.
Yeah,
Like
it's
the
like,
rest of his table was having a great time, and he just crossed his arms. To eventually, I talked to him about Bud Light.
yeah, you know, if you're there to have a bad time, then fuck it. That's your
Yeah,
call.
Get
And
out
as
of
long
here,
as you don't heckle me, I don't give a shit.
Jeff.
Yeah,
Um,
fucking Jeff, Harold,
Anyways,
Barnaby,
Barnaby,
fucking Barnaby.
Barnabas.
Am I really gonna name this episode Hard Milk? Because I will.
I think you should.
Okay.
I do have a charity, or simply a charity reminder. I think Everytown. However, I have donated to them many times before. Maybe more people should also donate, which is just gun control advocacy and stuff. I think
Okay.
that's appropriate at this current time. Every
I think
town.
so too. Now I did get you a rifle for Christmas, so I might need to go return that real quick. But
Yeah.
other than that, that sounds
After
good.
all these years, you still
After all
don't
these years, I
know.
finally got Monica what she always wanted: a rifle for Christmas.
Christmas.
In
I got it
May.
on sale.
I'm
ahead
getting
of the
it
game.
early this year. It's a Memorial Day sale. You know?
Yeah, they probably had a Memorial Day sale on guns. I did see a little clip from a local news station talking to a gentleman out on the peninsula about how he had basically turned over his AR-15 after what happened last week, which I was like, took you this long? But he was like, I didn't want to sell it because I was afraid it would get in the wrong hands and be used for something bad. So he said there's just like simple paperwork. They come to your house and take it, and like through a government channel. And he was like, I don't need assault weapons. So
It's true.
that's an
No one
option.
does. No one does.
Yeah, well, and whatever, this is me putting my 2 cents in, but just look, I appreciate responsible gun owners, sure. But if you have them at all, there's a possibility of a younger person getting a hold of it and playing with it, making a bad decision with it, whatever it is. So lock them up. But as when it comes to an assault weapon, if you're hunting or anything, you don't need that. So I didn't know that was an option, but apparently that is an option. You can contact your local, I think it's wildlife department kind of thing. Was it what game and wildlife or something like that?
Fishing.
Yeah,
game.
maybe fish. I don't know if that's exactly, but and they will come to your house, bring the paperwork. He said it only took like 10, 15 minutes, and then they take the weapon. And that way it's not like in circulation to be sold. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I know people are afraid of people coming and taking their guns, but it's a little different if you give it up.
It's funny.
If you are a hunter, that's actually not useful at all for hunting.
It's
it
funny when
ruins
you
the meat. Yeah.
see people on Twitter, because I saw some like someone put a statistic about like gun control in other countries working, like, you know, which is all signs point to yes. And then this fucking neckbeard jumps in and their picture is like them in a fedora with like a mask on. And I'm like, okay. And it's just this fucking like 18-year-old kid, clearly like a very young kid who just
and you should be like, flag this dude.
And they're like, you should watch this video for facts about it. And it was a Louder with Crowder YouTube video. And I'm like, this guy doesn't know what facts are. This is our public education system at work, actually. I can see this shit.
It's just like their access to things, and they're too stupid to understand what is real and what isn't, or
what is commentary, or what is spin. Like they don't understand the concept of spin.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you can't put a video made by a guy on YouTube as a fact. It's not a fact.
Yeah, you can put anything on YouTube.
It might have facts in it, but it's
cite your sources.
Yeah, it just bums me out when I see people like that. And I was also like, man, this guy's a stereotype. And then I sometimes am curious and I look at their profile and I play a game how few followers they have. And this guy was breaking 100. So I was actually kind of impressed.
Whoa, that's pretty impressive.
He had like 130 something. I'm like, hey, you know what? Good for you, buddy. Okay. But usually it's like follows 2,000 followers 15.
I also feel like the positive way you can approach these things is if you know a younger person, especially usually male, maybe talking about these things or anything in more of a casual way, you can say, hey, no, because I don't think they hear that enough. You know, it's not, because parents want to go, oh, I think that's okay, or they don't want to, somebody else just being like, that doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't be idolizing guns like that.
The problem I've noticed in school is there are zero actual consequences for any of their actions. You know,
there needs to be some fear of consequence, and there isn't really. And that's what, like, that's not obviously the only problem, but that's a lot of things. Like, we were afraid to get in trouble. I don't know where that fear has gone.
Yeah, that's true.
Whatever. It's replaced by the fear of dying all the damn time.
We started talking about your charity and then it got really sad.
I mean, that's what the charity is about. So donate to every town and help that. And sure, vote, whatever.
Do whatever you feel comfortable doing.
Dumb dicks out of there, I guess.
But. Yeah. Well, is there anything you want to say to the listener before we go?
Definitely. I love you so much.